and welcome back to a new episode with Tanoko 1. This week we are going over episode 1117, Red Meat. I really enjoyed the episode. There was a lot of mixed reaction as far as it. And I got a couple of questions and several concerns regarding the episode. So we're going to go over those, and then I'm basically going to give you my take on the episode. Because I had a lot of feelings and thoughts about it. Like I said, I enjoyed the episode a lot. But we'll get to that in a minute. Words sometimes fail said, the zoom in on Dean's face after I watched the man I love die, though. Beardy McBeardwolf was even wearing blue and, turned into something monstrous after doing something terrible for the sake of his wife. Destiel parallels are all in my head. What do you think? I actually think that very much we are getting parallels for Dean and Castiel. That Cass has already sacrificed himself, committed suicide, you could say, in order to basically protect those he loves, and because he feels expendable. I think Dean kind of also has already proved he feels expendable, that he feels he's just the grunt, as he said, that Sam is more important. And so I kind of think, one, Dean needs therapy. Dean needs a lot of therapy, because codependency is not healthy. It's as bad as being in a controlling relationship. You should not depend on somebody else being there and being in your life in order for you to survive. That's not healthy. It's not romantic. It's not sweet. You don't want that. You want to run in the opposite direction from that. So it's just, and I get the feeling Wincest shippers are probably just going gaga over this episode. And I'm like, do you not get how unhealthy their relationship is? That's just not good at all. Nobody should be like that. And it's so unhealthy. Like I said, I definitely think Dean and Cass parallels are strongly there. I also think we're kind of getting foreshadowing that it's going to get worse for Dean. And Dean's basically going to end up in the exact same position as Castiel, where he's going to make a very, very bad decision. Because one, he probably thinks he has no other options and that he's expendable and he can't be alone. So yeah. Next one was also, I kind of felt for Corbin a bit. I mean, I felt way more for Michelle. She was a sweetie bean who didn't deserve what she got. But even though he tried to kill Sam, I did get it. I don't know what smothering scene, I don't know. That smothering scene hurt a lot to watch, but the emotions on both sides were very genuine and affecting. What did you think? I thought the dude was a coward. Personally, I think he was mostly acting out of fear rather than, I did what I had to protect you. Okay, if he'd have been doing all that he had to protect her, one, he could have been helping Dean carry Sam, or he could have helped him build the thing so they could carry Sam. Instead, he stays by his wife and is just like rushing Dean, leave him behind. Doesn't offer to help at all. Literally, I think this guy was acting strictly out of fear and is a coward. I don't think, no, I don't think he is the way he tried to portray himself. Also, if you'll notice with these types of werewolves, people who have, are very, a weak character, give into the werewolf instinct immediately and get addicted to it. And then people who are like, people of strong character resist it and remain true to themselves. So it basically says a lot about him, just the way he reacted to it. He immediately gave himself up to it. It completely overtook him. And given canon, I think that says a lot, just as his actions did. Now, one thing I got a lot of concerns about were about the fact that they found the episode triggery. that the violence, the smothering scene was very triggery, and the insensitivity to that, etc. And please don't get offended by my opinion if I disagree with you or anything like that, or if, you know, I don't want you to feel like I'm belittling your issues or your feelings or anything like that. I'm not. I'm simply stating my opinion on this, which is going to differ from yours because I'm coming from a completely different standpoint. I did not find the episode triggering, of course, but and like I said, I really enjoyed the episode. But as far as wanting to basically the comments about that they shouldn't have done that it should have been cut, that there was no need for it, blah 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 blah, that basically that they shouldn't have done it because it was triggery, and that it was insensitive because it was a triggering scene. I think the writers are more concerned about triggering when it comes to like self-harm or rape scenes or something like that. Violence is atypical of the show. I mean, that's every episode. And basically suffocation or strangulation is not something they would probably consider to be triggering. In which case, if they had to start censoring the violence on the show, it would be ridiculous. Because violence is one of the primary elements of it. You know, a hanging scene they would also probably not do because of triggering. So, I mean, they are sensitive in a lot of areas. In which case, if they do something that isn't sensitive and is wrong, where the scene with Claire, where she nearly did get raped, they got a lot of bad backlash. And had to acknowledge afterwards, okay, we screwed up. You know, they get called out on it at least. But I think, you know, the writers that did this one are very thoughtful. And, you know, I think it was handled very well. I thought, like I said, I really enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed that scene and was more ready to, like, punch Dude Bro because you seriously tried to kill Sam Winchester. In which case, when he thought he killed him, I knew he didn't, because I'm like, no, that he didn't hold him down long enough to kill him. He just made him fall unconscious, because that's the first step. Yeah, I watch way too much television and movies and books, and making people pass out is a common thing. Especially if you're just needing to basically get them out of the way. You know, hold on to them till they pass out so you can sneak by, but you're not killing anybody. So like I said, I'm sorry if the episode upset you. I don't think it was intentional. And again, I don't think I think they already are censoring themselves as far as things that might be upsetting for people. But some stuff they just can't, because everything is going to upset somebody. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in. Everybody is habitually offended. We live in a habitually offended world. So somebody somewhere is going to be offended by everything. Cash shows up. A very small but loud portion of the fandom is irate. When he's not there, the majority of the fandom is irate. You know, damned if you do and damned if you don't on a lot of stuff, unfortunately. They do the best they can, you know. So I'm sorry it was triggering. I'm sorry if it upset people. I enjoyed it very much and thought it was a really great episode. Like, really great episode. I loved it. Now, as far as with this episode, I think it's interesting that I think we're lining up parallels for Dean and Cass basically being in the exact same boat of they're feeling alone or fear of being alone, leading to them making poor decisions. Like I said, I really think there's foreshadowing, especially this episode, with basically things getting worse, especially for Dean. especially when Billy first showed up at the beginning and threatened to throw them into the empty. And then we have Dean, who is very clear he basically can't handle being alone and can't handle losing anybody else. Because, he's lost Charlie, he's lost Cass, which is his main concern this episode. And then, or at the beginning of the episode, which led to this whole thing. And then he just watched Sam die. And then literally that's pretty much all it's going to take to break him. He is this close to shattering. He is completely cracked through with fractures, but he's not broken just yet. I think he's very close to it though. And I think that's going to lead to ultimately him making very bad decisions. And I think probably the end of the season is going to be bad. How bad, I don't know, because I'm not sure how bad it can get at this point. Let's see, how can it possibly get worse? Well, leave it to the writers, it will. And that kind of seems to be a thing on the show. They try to make Sam out to be the big damn hero, and then, with Dean on this spiral of darkness and bad decision making, like, I don't know, it almost seems, it's kind of insulting, because it's almost like they keep trying to throw Dean in a bad light, except it just makes Dean stand out more, and he kind of, to me personally, completely outshines Sam. Even though Sam, mortally wounded, takes on 2 werewolves, steals their car, drives to the Impala, gets in the Impala, tries to warn Dean, gets to the urgent care, and then saves the day himself while still gunshot wounded. Still your focus is completely more on what Dean did. And what Dean goes through, even when Sam's going through the trials and stuff like that, it's Dean is still or even when Dean's a demon and and Sam's trying to save him, the focus still seems to be on Dean, even though Sam is the one who's morally right and good and blah 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 blah. Dean still just outshines him. And yet then they turn around and want to make him out like, Sam's the smart one and Dean's stupid or something. I don't know. It's really aggravating. More than a little aggravating. But it kind of has me curious with the fact that, okay, one, there's all this foreshadowing. And the fact that Cass has made this horrible decision because he feels like he's expendable and alone and nobody cares. And then you have all this foreshadowing that Dean is going to follow the exact same path and make very bad decisions because he's one, either afraid to be alone or feels like he is alone. And then at the same time, in real life, you have Jensen and Misha who are doing the You Are Not Alone campaign. And I'm kind of almost wondering if that's not foreshadowing in itself. About the fact that Dean and Cass are basically going to be each other's salvation. And the fact that you are not alone because I'll be with you, as long as there's a breath in my body, I'll be there. And Destiel going canon that way. In which case, because like I said, Dean's relationship with his brother is mega, super, deeply, deeply toxic and unhealthy. So unhealthy. And they desperately need relationships with other people. That's a good thing. In which case Dean needs to stop losing people. He can't take it anymore. He lost the little sister, he never had. And then, he's basically lost Castiel. And is trying to fight, to get him back. And it's just, oh God. But like I said, I'm kind of, that's an interesting real life parallel that's going on right now. You are not alone with Jensen and Misha. Rather than, Jared or something. It's like I said, I kind of think maybe that's foreshadowing. Which would be very interesting. That would be the actors and show throwing their support very strongly behind Castiel and the fact that, all the parallels that go with that, talking about like other, you know, the LGBT, you know, community, you are not alone. You know, anybody, one who feels alone or suicidal or depression and stuff like that, you are not alone. You know, Dean and Castiel in the show, you are not alone. And I think that's really important, and I think that's really cool. That would be really amazing, actually, if that's what they're doing. In which case that would be, you know, a really great move on their part, that they would be doing that preemptively. So I think that would be really cool, and I'm kind of really hoping that's what's going on. Also, this whole episode starts with the fact that that Dean is very concerned over what's going on, and he's questioned about it and talks about the fact that, okay, we haven't found a Mar, we haven't found a hand of God, we haven't found this, you know, no weapons, no solutions to, you know, anything like that. The one thing he doesn't mention is Castiel. Which case Sam turns around and calls him out on it, on the fact that, okay, that's what you're really worried about. You know, and we'll find him, dude. And, because he knows that even though Dean lists all these other things, that's not what he's really concerned about. And I love it, because, you know, Sam is the concerned, caring, supportive brother who loves his brother and knows him better than anybody. Or, you know, better than Dean wants to admit. But in that, Sam has lost all voting privileges. Because, seriously, no, it'll be like camping, Dean. It'll be fun. You got shot, dude. You no longer get a vote. No. This, you know, it'll be easy, Dean. You should have stayed in the bunker. You no longer get a vote. We're not getting either of you out of the bunker, you know, because you need to clear your heads and walk away. No. It's gonna end badly. It ended badly. You got shot and nearly suffocated, and Dean tried to commit suicide. I mean, dude, you no longer get a vote at all. It's like I said, I really, really enjoyed this episode. I really did. There were so many great layers to it, in which case a lot of people were like, this absolutely didn't promote the plot or the character development. I think it did. Because it may not have developed the characters, but it showed a lot about their character. Kind of like LARP and the Real Girl. It didn't develop the plot or the characters, but it showed a lot about them. And basically this episode reveals, one, how vulnerable Dean is. And very much how fractured and damaged he is. And I think that's really important. You know, and I think it shows a lot about Sam, who is a, you know, walk when he can't run, crawl when he can't walk kind of person. But keep moving forward. That is basically Sam's personality. You know, and that is what he will keep doing. And, you know, find somebody to carry you when you can't crawl no more. You know, like I said, I think it's very important. And I think it, while the characters didn't necessarily, well, maybe, you know, we did get character personality, character development, because the characters are forced to face, you know, Dean is now going to be forced to face himself, you know, and the fact that, yeah, this is a length I went to, that I'm willing to go to, and I didn't think twice about it. Granted, Dean being Dean, he's going to be in denial about the fact and not see the fact that he's literally Castiel right now. You know, and him appreciate what Castiel did, because Dean is him. Dean is willing to do the exact same thing. And that's bad. You know, but he, one, he can't be mad at Castiel anyways. Well, he'll be mad because that's how he expresses worry and concern, and the fact that, hey, you scared me, so I'm going to be angry and yell a lot. You know, but like I'm really worried about the rest of the season. I'm so deeply concerned, because we only have like 5 episodes left, 6 maybe. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We have 6 episodes left. It's gonna hurt. And then we have season 12, and it's gonna hurt. And I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And in which case, I'm also deeply concerned for next week's episode because this is going to be bad. This is so going to be bad. Okay, Lucifer goes to heaven. Which one? I get. I mean, that is literally, he's left with no other options at this point. The demons have scoured Earth. They're looking for the hands of God. They're looking for any weapons of Lucifer's. They are looking for everything they can. Lucifer's already commented on the fact that, okay, this is going to be more of a team effort than I bargained for. And so, you know, and literally is, okay, I'm going to have to go to the angels. You know, we're going to have to work together. You know, demons are working here. Heaven's going to have to work as well. Because like I said, I get the sense of it. I do. But it's still bad. Especially when he tells them that you can basically call me God. And I'm like, oh God, no, not that. Don't say, why'd you say that? And then they're in Naomi's office when he's doing all this. And I'm like, really? Really? Naomi's office? Like, enough bad stuff didn't happen to Castiel in that office? Are you freaking kidding me? You know, and in which case, Castiel has already told the angels and declared himself God to them before. You know, so this is why they hate him already. And now he said yes to Lucifer, you know, who is now presenting himself as the new God to the angels. And it's like, oh my God, why? Why? As if oh God, this is going to end so badly for Cass. As if the angels don't hate him enough. You know, fuck, damn, shit, oh, God. I can't do this. My stress levels. I can't handle it. So like, I'm deeply concerned. Yeah, my stress levels, they're pretty high. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. But we'll see. I'll be back next week. Like I said, you are always welcome, and I encourage you to leave comments below that, or either you can submit questions, feedback, general commentary, your opinions, speculations, either for the upcoming episode or after the new episode airs. I take questions for 24 hours after the episode airs, and then I make a video the next evening. So, you know, Supernatural airs on Wednesday night, I make a video Thursday night, and you have that time period in between to submit all your questions and stuff. You can submit them on here, or you can submit them on my Tumblr, tanoka1.tumblr.com/ask. And I will be more than happy to answer them on the video, or next week's video. In the meantime, friendly reminder, 2 things. 1, again, I will be doing and planning to do a giveaway. In the giveaway, I will be giving out some printed out hand-bound copies of 2 of my fics that Deep Foxton did for me, that are amazing, and she just did them as a gift, and they're amazing. It's going to be Defining All Expectation and How the Other Side Lives, which is just fabulous. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. But then I'll also be giving away some other things, like I have a Gadriel pillow, throw pillow, that I got off of Society 6. I'll be giving away some little figures, the Supernatural Mystery Minis, several other different little things, so stay tuned for that. Follow me on my blog so that you can hear all the extras about that, and get the information as it comes out and everything like that. Also, any future fics coming out, which one I'm currently working on, that is going to be so much fun. I'm so excited about it. Another point is the fact that, just a reminder, because I know a lot of people apparently don't know this, and it hurts me down to my soul that you don't know this. There are Supernatural tie-in novels, okay, guys? Like, literally, extra stories. They're great. The newest one, which is novel number 14 in the series, just came out. Cold Fire. I have not read this yet. I am still working through, I'm about to finish the 5th wave, and then I'm currently reading Rite of Passage, which is book 7, 8, something like that. I'm currently reading this one. So I'm still working my way through the book series. But Cold Fire just came out. Mythmaker is supposed to come out in June. You know, they went on a 2-year hiatus of not making the novels, so the fact that they are making them again is a really good sign. Also, they're coming out with a coloring book, which is very exciting. Like, seriously, scan them, make copies, don't color in the actual coloring book, that way you can recolor all the different pages as many times as you want. The Ghost Facers is one of the pages. It's going to be beautiful. I'm so excited. But yeah. If you want me to do any other videos, maybe on a different subject than supernatural, please feel free to leave me a suggestion either on Tumblr or on in the comments below, like I said, and I will be more than happy to. We can do like a book video, book recommendations, books I've read, different stuff like that. Anything you'd like. Like I said, last week's video, I introduced you to my rescue dogs and kind of told you each of their little stories. But yeah, that's it for this week's video. I hope to see you back. I hope to hear from you as far as what you thought of this video and what about next week's video and next week's episode. And yeah, I'll see you then. Bye.